We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. Listen, if you want to call and join in the conversation, don't be afraid. Give us a ring, 737-7587. You see on the screen there it says, Affordable Care Act open enrollment starts November 1st. And some of you, may have a plan that's out there that you could switch to that would be better. You have to re-enroll anyway. These folks here, certified marketplace navigators, okay? Sharon and Tracy know their stuff. They're the ones that will be helping you. And they're both, well, they're legitimate, okay? As we just had someone call that there's insurance companies sometimes badgering you. You don't go that way. And we'll put the numbers up at the end of the show. But let's go to Brian. We have another call here. Lines are open if you want to jump in. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
These are the same ladies that were on there last year, if I remember right. And I think they explained to me that they're paid by government.
And I don't remember you wearing orange last time.
I didn't. It must have been a bad day.
I asked them, how come there's no men that work there? Don't they hire any men? But
yeah, I remember that now.
I don't know. Listen, Nick, he said most older people on Medicare, well, if they have money, and sometimes when they retire, you have an option to continue your insurance program through who you're working for more than 20 years. So, not everybody that's old is on Medicare, and then my brother, he's a doctor, so I get most of my insurance through him. And I noticed that in small towns, it seems like they run their medical a little more efficiently. Because Nick knows I live out in Fairview. We've got a medical clinic. And then anything major, I go see my brother in Virginia, Charlottesville once a year. But, and then I get free statins for cholesterol medicine at Publix, and they get free flu shots. But I just,
awesome.
A lot of people, like those people saying, people are calling up saying, hey, buy this, buy that. There are a lot of scams out there. And I wanted to ask their opinions about this thing called the health markets or marketplace. It's like a brand. You call them, and they got to be getting a piece of the action.
Have you heard of that? Do you know what he's talking about?
We have heard of health markets.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't advocate for anything other than healthcare.gov.
Yeah. Right.
That's what we are trained to help people through.
Okay, and it was interesting because they get names that are similar and all that. And some of them are maybe just fine, all right? But again, we're not having these two guests on because they're advocating or anything. Again, you're paid by federal dollars and you're in place as part of this Affordable Care Act to help navigate the marketplace for people like you who need help. That's it. And they're not going to push any plan. If you were to call and say, which one should I do? You're probably not going to tell them. What you're going to do is say, here are your options and look for yourself and see what works best for you. But that's your call. Okay.
It is.
So just so you know, these are the folks you want to talk to because you're going to get an unbiased opinion.
That's right.
We're not agents
or no opinion, an unbiased, I guess, assistance. No opinion. Then.
No
you're just going to tell them.
That's right. We don't receive any commission depending on what plan you choose. Even if you don't choose a plan, it doesn't affect our income. So.
Got you on that.
You can't even bring me a cupcake. I will not accept it.
You will not accept it. Where are your offices here? You guys here in Nashville?
We are. So we're with Family and Children's Service. That's the Navigator Grantee Agency, Family and Children's Service, and the new address because
1704 Heyman Street.
Okay.
However, we're mostly in the community.
We're in the community.
So we do our enrollments where we're needed. So
what do you mean? So you'll go to libraries?
Libraries are basically where we do most of our enrollments. We're so grateful that
healthcare clinics, community centers.
Actually, and Tracy does a lot of the Hispanic population. So would you talk a little bit about that, Tracy?
Yeah, so we work in places where there's a large need for, like in the Latino community, for example, Hispanic Family Foundation, one center, St. Thomas South, which is Clínica Nueva Vida. So we can help. We have Spanish navigators that can speak Spanish. We have navigators that could speak Arabic and Kurdish and Amharic. So, and we also have language line services to interpret for other languages if we can't offer in-person assistance.
And again, I know when we bring that up, naturally many of our viewers are going to wonder, okay, so now how do you qualify for this? Can those who are here that are undocumented get this access?
Unfortunately, unless they're pregnant, there's no health insurance options in the state of Tennessee if you're undocumented.
Okay, so many of these organizations, many of these individuals who are here, if they're living here, they may not be U.S. citizens, but they have to have a visa. Is that what you were saying?
A green card. Asylum status, refugee status, a working permit with a correct code on there.
Right, okay.
So, but in those conditions, give us a call. We can look specifically at your case and determine whether or not you'll be eligible.
All right, and do people call when we put the number up at the end of the program and arrange an appointment to get you on the phone later, and because I'm sure you get a lot of calls, or you tell them where you're going to be that day if you're at, say, a library in, Green Hills or something like that?
Right. So we're going to have some enrollment events coming up starting November 1, where we will be at Southeast Library, Downtown Library, what's the one? Bellevue. What are the library places? Hold on a second. Edmondson Library. I think I bought a list.
So that will be a day where they can literally come in. What do they need to bring with them, or what do they have to have in front of them? Go ahead.
Yeah. So on Mondays, Hispanic Family Foundation, Salva Center, Salome Health, Matthew Walker, Southeast Library, Goodlettsville Library, Edmondson Library, Hermitage Library.
Those will all be coming up in the next month?
On Mondays starting November 1.
Okay. So check with your local library.
Check with your local library, because we're all over the place. We're going to be at Downtown Library, Laverne Library, Green Hills Library.
You'll be logged into the computer with folks, and they come up one at a time. And what do they just need to lay out for you? What do they have to bring with them to maybe enroll right then and there?
So we would love for them to go to the connector, which is what is the website? getcoveredtenn.org, and then they can access our calendar and our appointments, and they can actually make an appointment with us through the connector already. So they can start today making appointments for November 1 through December 15. But what would happen is they'll make the appointment, and then we will call them and say, I'm Sharon Barker, certified navigator. You made an appointment with me to meet me at the Southeast Library. This is what to expect. Bring income information. If you're an immigrant, bring documentation of your immigration status. Everybody in the household, I need to know their social security number. Bring everybody's birth date. So I'll tell you everything to bring, so that when you come to the appointment, we can move forward, because we're going to have to create you a Marketplace account. So I would ask you to have an email address if you can. If not, we can create one for you. Because in order to access the application and complete the application, we need an email address to do that. And so when you bring all of that, I like to set my appointments for about an hour and a half, so that it's enough time to just really delve in. Sometimes I don't need that hour and a half. Sometimes I may need just an hour, depending on how large the household is. So, but I like to set mine for an hour and a half, so that you have enough time between appointments to actually get into the weeds of everything. If you have a big family, or if you have lots of doctors you want to look up, lots of medications you want to look up, and you just might need an education on insurance. I like to be able to have that time to do that with you. So the appointments are from the time the library opens at 10 in the morning. Some of us have appointments on there to the time the library closes. So there's a lot of time so that people can come before work, or come after they get off at 5 o'clock.
And we're there Saturdays. Some of us Sundays as well. And if you're not internet savvy and you don't want to go on and make an appointment online, you can call our hotline. There's volunteers that answer that number and just do that appointment for you. So they'll look up our schedules and look at your availability, and then set up the appointment.
How many of you are there here?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is. Let me see. What about 12?
About 12 in Nashville area.
Keep pretty darn busy right now.
We do.
I would imagine. But I think it's great, because I would use you completely.
But we're in all 96 counties, though. So it's not just Nashville. We have partners in all 96 counties.
I would imagine. Okay, yeah. So just like you on East Tennessee, West Tennessee, there's all that. Who was on line 2? I'm sorry, Mary. Was that the next caller? Hey, Linda. Go ahead, Linda.
Yes, I was listening to the television, and they said something about Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Were they talking about Blue Cross and Blue Shield will not be offered again this time, or has it changed, or what? Because that is what my husband and I both are on. So what was it about Blue Cross and Blue Shield, please?
Yeah, you got someone else on that as well. Go ahead and recap that for them again. Yeah, it's probably Medicare, and it's okay.
Yeah, so Blue Cross Blue Shield for the Marketplace is in East Tennessee, Greater Knoxville, Greater Chattanooga, and West Tennessee. And that's for Marketplace coverage only. So if you're on Medicare, this does not apply to you.
Yes, if you're on Medicare, don't worry. That's still there. And I suspect that's what it is.
And
if they're on Medicare,
we can definitely give the SHIP number for them to call SHIP and get really good information about Medicare plans.
And that's separate than what we're dealing with right now with this. How often do you deal with people when they lay it out for you that you're able to find a plan that does it ever exactly match?
Yeah.
No, come on, really?
I mean, people want, you know, a
Seriously.
zero premium, zero deductible.
Oh, no, I don't
zero
mean, yeah, the
copay.
dream thing, but I mean in terms of their needs and the medicines, and is it hard sometimes to find a plan that will cover this medicine but also covers this condition, and sometimes it's one or the other?
To me, I'm going to say 80% of the time, I get people that find a plan that matches exactly what they want, and they're okay with the premium as well. It might be even upwards of 80% of the time. I don't have a lot of people that storm away upset. I don't.
Okay. No, all right. So if you can then, and I've always kind of wondered, walk me through kind of a standard type plan. What's the most common one for the average individual? And I know there's a lot of different ones. So you're going to say, Nick, it's hard to pick one specific, but maybe the most common type that people tend to settle on, the middle ground. So what would that kind of plan be? And I'm talking about specifics here.
So we want to highlight the silver plans. And the reason why
Silver plans, meaning
we're
there's,
highlighting
there's gold, silver, and
bronze,
Okay.
and sometimes catastrophic as well.
Okay, silver plans. Why silver plans?
Silver plans are important because if you're eligible for the cost sharing reduction, which is the payment to lower your deductible and your out-of-pocket maximum, and you're within 250% of federal poverty line, that cost sharing reduction only applies to silver plans.
Okay.
So you're going to get the most deduction in a silver plan.
Okay, and a silver plan by nature is probably considered providing a bit more coverage than bronze.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
It's a better plan, probably a little more expensive, but you may get more assistance with that so you can afford it.
Right.
Okay. So what is in a typical silver plan? I mean, how does it work? What are the ranges on like deductibles and the types of conditions it covers and things like that? I know it's
All plans will cover the same things.
same thing. So where's the difference?
So the difference is the prices. So the actuarial values are different depending on what metal tier you're in.
Okay.
So in silver plans, it's a 70% actuarial value.
Okay.
So, but essentially, you're going to pay a little bit more in your premium than you would in a bronze plan, but a little bit lower in your deductible and your out-of-pocket maximum than a
Okay.
bronze plan.
Okay.
Same thing goes for a gold. So you'll pay a little bit more in your premiums for a gold plan than you would in a silver, but lower deductible and out-of-pocket maximum, theoretically, if you're not getting that cost-sharing reduction.
Okay, now, but a gold plan, now you say they all cover the same type of thing, but I thought the whole idea is, I mean, some's going to be more comprehensive than others. If I go for the very top of the line gold plan, the most expensive of them all, I mean, that's going to cover more than the cheapest bronze, isn't it?
Actually, they're all going to cover the same 10 essential health benefits. All the plans have to cover those, like your ambulance and your maternity and your preventive and lab work and prescriptions, and I can't think of all 10, but all of them are going to cover
those basics.
all 10
But
of
I'm
those.
talking about dialysis, heart transplants.
Yeah,
Medically necessary,
the
same thing.
difference to me in the plans is the actuarial value. It's about how much that plan the insurance company is going to pay toward those covered costs. So the bronze plan is like 60-40, and the silver is like 70-30, and the gold is like 80-20, and the
platinum.
I mean, the gold is like, and the platinum is like 90-10. And with the silver, because you're getting those cost share reduction discounts, it kind of raises that actuarial value up a little bit more, where it's more like some of those plans you'll get more like an 73, 84, and 94% actuarial value when you add in that cost share reduction discount. So the actuarial value, that's why the silver plan is a lot more, is a better deal, because you're getting that cost share reduction and you're getting that advanced premium tax credit. It's going to raise that actuarial value up a little bit more, and the insurance company will pay more toward the covered cost.
Is that where we find most people?
Yes.
Probably so, just because it makes the most sense financially.
Yes, right.
All
Absolutely.
right, that's great. Let's take a break on that note when we come back. Our final segment with our guests. We can take more calls if you'd like, 737-7587. Questions about the Affordable Care Act, your plan, and what you need to know come November 1st to open enrollment again. We'll be right back.